Hi, I'm Bernard Sheridan with Impact Zone Golf, and I thought that you guys might like to see the swing catalyst and basically what we do during lessons, and so that when we do a lesson, we do a video recording, and we also use swing catalyst, and this will give you guys an idea as to kind of what we're doing in our lessons. This is actually one of the instructors that was here. He's no longer here, but he has pretty nice swings, so I thought I'd use him as an example. So up here, what we can see is the trace, the pressure trace of the swing catalyst, and left foot and right foot, and toe and heel. And at address, he is at 58% on his front and 42% on his back. His stance is 20 inches wide, and that is basically from the center of heel to heel. So that's a little bit wide, and that can kind of restrict the workhorse, which is the core and the hips and lower body. But this young guy doesn't have that problem because he's young and he's flexible. But for the average player, I would not suggest that width. I would suggest a little bit narrower than that. Maybe 16 to 18 inches would be good for an iron. So as he moves back, what I want you to notice is that trace moves to his back foot, and as he gets to the top, he has 92% of his weight on that back foot. So he has a nice weight shift here, and he's really loading the club very well here. And if we talk about that, we can say that that angle between that lead arm and the shaft, he's loaded it up to 46 degrees, which is awesome. Okay, so he's going to be able to create a lot of power that way. Now, as he starts down, what I want you to notice is there is a lateral bump, and then he starts to rotate. And as he gets to this point, he's still maintaining some good lag here. He's at 80%, and what we like to see is 90% or better. So in other words, 90% or less than 90%. He's at 80, so he's exceeding what we normally like to see, and that's when that lead arm kind of gets parallel to the ground. Now, as he becomes into impact here, what I want you to notice is right here. And if we look at what we call dynamic number 5, and that last dynamic that we looked at with this 80% with lag is dynamic number 4. And here the shaft is just a little bit behind his hands. And there's the club head. So he's definitely going to come from the inside here. He's going to have to make a lot of rotation to square that club face up. As we can see, he's already doing that because his hips are well open here. So as he starts into impact, we're just about at impact there, and he does a fine job. By this point, he's 92% on that front foot. Now, anything from 75% or better is great. We'd like to see that weight just a little bit more towards the heel, but some excellent stuff going on here. And there is impact, or just past impact, and what I want you to notice is dynamic number 1 here, that flat lead wrist is really happening, and his hands are well ahead here. Okay, so they're not back by the center of his body. Even as he gets to here, his hands are moving forward, okay, well ahead of that shaft, creating that forward shaft lean. And when he gets to impact, dynamic number 2, that club bottoms out after the ball. So if we look at that, we can see that his angle attack was 2 degrees down, and his path was 1.6 degrees from in to out. So some good stuff here. Smash factor was fairly high for an iron. Club head speed was 83. And what we want to look at next is, does he back up through impact? And he doesn't. He's up to the 100%. And by this point, that is fantastic. And has a little bit of backup after, but does a great job. And I want you to notice too how much that club comes around. He's really flexible and gets that shoulder to the target. Now the reason why that shoulder's to the target is because his belt is actually aiming left of the target, and he's really up on that toe. So this is some good stuff here, and just wanted to let you guys get a little glimpse into what we do to tear swings down and to give players an understanding as to what they're doing in their swing. So I'm Bernard Sheridan, Impact Zone Golf. Thanks for being with us. Until we meet again, keep it in the short grass, and remember, it's all about impact.